UFC 329. Ryan Gandra vs. Reese. Ryan Gandra enters this fight with a solid 9-1 record. Bets Reese may hold the stylistic advantage. Reese stands 3 inches taller, with a 2.5-inch reach advantage, giving him more room to control the striking exchanges. If he keeps this fight at kicking range and uses his length to deny Gandra clean entries, he will force Gandra to take risk. Gandra's best bets to close the distance early and turn this into a pressure fight. But if Reese dictates the range, his composure and his submission threats could take over as the fight progresses. One believes that Reese wins by decision or submission. The Oracle has spoken. Next up, Tracy Cortez vs. Cong wang. This is an interesting matchup for me because it's a grappler versus a striker. This is a classic striker versus matchup and grappler matchup. Tracy Cortez is relentless with her pressure, wrestling and top control. But standing across from her is Wang, the Joker, Cong, a world-class kickboxer who has a win over the current champion, Valentina Shevchenko, in kickboxing. So if Cortez can't close the distance early, Cong's speed, precision, and counter-striking could dominate the fight. Cortez's clearest path to victory is to chain her takedowns together and keep Cong pinned to the canvas, because if Cong has any way or space to move, this fight will be carnage for Cortez. But in this remains a striking battle, like I said. The advantage will swing heavily towards the Chinese standout. Our prediction: Cong the Joker Wang wins by decision. The Oracle has spoken. Next up, Pinas vs. Almeida. Pinas enters this fight with an impressive record of 9-1 and a significant 5.5-inch reach advantage. If he can establish his jab, stay long, and dictate to the distance, he will make this a very difficult fight versus Almeida. But Almeida has proven to be a dangerous finisher, with a light striking power and the ability to end the fight with a single clean shot. His path to victory, that is Almeida, is simply cut off the cage, close the distance, and force Pinas into exchanges where his power becomes the deciding factor. If Almeida lands consistently, expect the momentum to swing to his favor, in his favor. Our prediction is Almeida wins this battle by knockout or decision. The Oracle has spoken. Next up, Cody Garbrandt vs. Adrian Yanez. This fight is all about experience versus precision. Former UFC bantamweight champion Cody Garbrandt still possesses some of the fastest hands in the division. When he's confident, his explosive speed and knockout power can overwhelm anyone. But the question is whether he can maintain that discipline for 3 rounds. Because Adrian Yanez is one of the cleanest boxers in the bantamweight division. He doesn't waste punches. He reads his opponent well, and he's patient enough to capitalize on defensive mistakes. His path to victory is to stay composed, avoid Garbrandt's early bursts, and make Cody pay every time he overcommits. Garbrandt's best chance is to pressure early, use his footwork, and land the big right hand before Yanez settles into his rhythm. But if Yanez survives the opening exchanges, expect his superior shots selection, his timing, and accuracy to take over as the fight progresses. Our prediction is Adrian Yanez wins this fight by knockout or unanimous decision. The Oracle has spoken. Next up, Luke Riley vs. Kamaka. This could be one of the most intriguing fights on the UFC 329 prelims. Luke Riley arrives undefeated at 11-0, carrying serious momentum and a reputation as one of the UK's brightest prospects. But across the octagon stands Kamaka, a seasoned veteran who has shared the cage with high-level competition and knows exactly how to test an up-and-coming prospect. Kamaka's path to victory is to drag Riley into deep waters. He will look to pressure, disrupt Riley's rhythm, and force him into a high-paced, gritty fight where experience becomes the difference. But Riley has the physical tools to keep this fight on his terms. His speed, his accuracy, and ability to fight at range could frustrate Kamaka all night. If Riley manages the distance, picks his shots, and avoids prolonged exchanges, he will steadily take control of the contest. This feels to me like a passing of the torch moment. Expect Kamaka to have his moments. But Luke Riley suits composure and technical striking should earn him the edge over 3 rounds. Our prediction is Luke Riley wins by knockout or unanimous decision. The Oracle has spoken. Next up on UFC 329 is the Ripper, Whittaker vs. Nikita Krylov, the minor. For me, this is a fascinating clash between elite experience and relentless aggression. Former UFC middleweight champion, the Ripper Whittaker, is moving up to light heavyweight where he'll test himself against the division's most dangerous veteran. One of the most dangerous veterans in Nikita Krylov. Krylov's path to victory in this matchup is to make this a physical fight from the opening bell. He's dangerous everywhere, powerful on the feet, aggressive in scrambles, and always hunting for the finish. If he pressures Whittaker and foresees clinch exchanges and makes him carry the extra weight of the division, he will have a real chance to overwhelm Whittaker. But for Whittaker, success depends on speed, footwork, and discipline. He must stay off the fence, use his trademark blitz combination, and make Krylov pay with sharp counters before settling out. If Whittaker allows Krylov to dictate the pace, he'll be fighting the Ukrainian's fight. Anyway, despite Whittaker's championship pedigree, they move up in weight against a naturally bigger and highly versatile opponent. It's a difficult assignment. My prediction is Krylov is going to win by knockout or unanimous decision. However, there is a world where Whittaker is submitted. The Oracle has spoken. Next up, Cory Sandhagen vs. my favorite, Bautista. I must say at this juncture that so many people are going to be surprised because this card is going to have a lot of underdog wins. For this fight, it will be determined, or is likely to determine the next title challenger in the UFC bantamweight division. Cory Sandhagen has spent years proving himself against the very best with elite footwork, creative striking, and one of the highest fight IQs in the division. Is a nightmare to prepare for. But Bautista has quietly built one of the most impressive winning streak at 155 pounds. He's a well-rounded fighter who blends crisp boxing with strong wrestling and relentless pressure. Although he suffered a defeat recently against Umar Nurmagomedov, his path to victory in this fight is to close the distance, deny Sandhagen the speed, the space he needs, and force him into clinches, where he can mix in takedowns and control the pace. Sandhagen's path is true. Keep the fight at range if he establishes his jab, attached with his kicks from different angles and constantly changing his movement. He will make Bautista chase the fight. That's exactly where Sandhagen is at his best. making his opponent miss before making them pay. This is a very close matchup, but Bautista's pressure, defensive discipline, and ability to mix striking with grappling could be the difference over 3 rounds. 3 hard-fought rounds. If he sticks to that game plan, he will have the edge in the scorecard because I don't think he can finish Sandhagen. After all, Sandhagen already has a victory over Bautista, but that was a long time ago. This is a different Bautista. So many people are going to be disappointed because a lot of underdogs will win in this card. And for this matchup, prediction is Bautista wins by unanimous decision. The Oracle has spoken. Next up, Royval versus Kavanaugh. This is a fascinating clash between proven elite experience in the presence of Royval and a dangerous young contender, Kavanaugh. He's so dangerous on the feet. Royval has already established himself among the UFC flyweight elites. He's fought championship caliber opponents. And the people of Pentoja and so many of them, including the current flyweight champion, and owns an unpredictable style, and is constantly mixing the striking with high-level scrambling to keep his opponents guessing. Kavanaugh, on the other hand, is an explosive athlete with sharp boxing and excellent movement. Despite suffering his first professional defeat to Charles Johnson, he remains a dangerous prospect with the speed and power to trouble anyone at 125 pounds division. His path of victory is to keep the fight technical, use lateral movements, and prevent Royval from turning the contest into a chaotic exchanges where he thrives. Royval, the blueprint is pressure. He needs to force Kavanaugh into an uncomfortable situation, just like Charles Johnson did. He needs to mix up his striking with clinch work and grappling, and capitalize on his experience in high-pressure fights. The longer and messier the fight becomes, the more it favors Royval. This is a big step up in competition for Kavanaugh. Royval has consistently proven he belongs to among the world's best flyweights, and that experience should be the difference. My prediction, Royval wins by unanimous decision, or by knockout. The Oracle has spoken. Next up, Denis and Denis versus Paddy, the bad Pimblett. This isn't just another lightweight fight. It's a battle between two of the most aggressive finishers in the division. When the cage door closes, don't expect either man to take a backward step. It's going to be war. Denis and Denis is relentless. He's nicknamed God of War, the former Special Forces soldier who thrives on pressure, pace, and violence. He marches forward, absorbs punishment to give it back, and is always looking to overwhelm his opponents with relentless striking and suffocating grappling. If Denis can force Paddy onto the back foot, make this a war of attrition, and test his durability, the Frenchman has every chance of taking over. But Paddy, the body Pimblett, has proven time and again that he is the best in chaos. His grappling is among the most dangerous in the lightweight division. His only loss in the UFC is to the current champion, and he's incredibly optimistic. Give him your neck, an arm, or even a brief scramble, and he will capitalize and creates a submission. Paddy doesn't need to dominate every mate. He only needs one mistake, and the fight is over. The biggest question is, who dictates the pace? If Denis turns this into a high-volume striking battle, he will have success. But if Paddy can weather the early storm, slow the tempo, force scrambles to the mark, his submission game becomes a serious threat. His composure in difficult positions and his ability to find openings on the ground could make the difference here. This is the toughest test for Paddy Pimblett, I must say, in his UFC career. Yeah, his only loss again is to just engaging the current champion. But stylistically, his grappling gives him a packed that few opponents possess against Denis. Expect a competitive fight with momentum swings. But when the biggest moments arrive, we believe Paddy's ability to capitalize on the mat should separate him. Prediction: Paddy the Baddy Pimblett wins by submission or unanimous decision. The Oracle has spoken. Next up, Conor McGregor, the notorious The King, is coming back to have a rematch with Max Holloway. Over a decade after their first meeting, history repeats itself. Back in 2013, a young Conor McGregor defeated Max Holloway by unanimous decision in a fight that introduced two future legends to the UFC. But this isn't the same matchup. Both men have evolved, captured world titles, built full of team careers. This isn't about the past, it's about who has more left today. Conor McGregor changed mixed martial arts forever. His precision striking, devastating left hand, an unmatched ability to read his opponents, made him the first fighter in the UFC history to hold two titles simultaneously. Along the way, he delivered unforgettable victories over Jose Aldo in just 13 seconds, Eddie Alvarez to become double champion, and Cat Mendes for the interim featherweight title, and Dustin Poirier in their first meeting also. Across the octagon stands blessed Max Holloway, one of the greatest featherweights the sport has ever seen. Blessed built his legacy on relentless volume, a light cardio, and incredible durability. His regimen includes dominant wins over Jose Aldo twice, Brian Ortega, Frankie Edgar, Yair Rodriguez, Arnold Allen, and one of the most iconic knockouts in UFC history, when he stopped just engaging in the final second to capture the symbolic BMF title. Holloway has continued to evolve into one of the smartest and most complete striker in the game, one of the most loved UFC fighter of all times. So how does this rematch play out? Holloway's path to victory is clear. He must survive Conor's dangerous early power, push a relentless pace, and force Conor into the championship rounds, where his cardio and volume become overwhelming. Every extra minute favors Holloway. Conor's path is equally clear. He must control the center of the octagon, manage the distance, and land his trademark counters before Holloway settles into his rhythm. If Conor can slow the fight down, make Holloway hesitant, and connect clean with that left hand, he has the power to end the fight at any moment, especially now that the fight is at welterweight. This is a fight between two legends who have already cemented their place in the UFC history. But styles make fights, and despite Holloway's remarkable evolution, Conor's timing, precision, and fight-ending power remains the ultimate equalizers. Conor has a 50% chance of winning this fight. So does Holloway. But our prediction is that Conor is going to win this fight by knockout or unanimous decision, and then go forward to challenge Justin Gaethje for the light heavyweight belts, sometimes this year or next. The Oracle has spoken.